Welcome to Tarvin Tutorials. Let's talk about segments, what they are, and how to use them. A lot of times people get groups and segments confused because they look very, very similar. A group is a static grouping of contacts, meaning that contacts can be added or taken away from a group, but only when there's human intervention or you have a journey set up that adds or takes a contact away from a group. Segments are like a query to the database or a question to the database. So when you add a segment in, you can add or edit segment criteria. That criteria can be maybe something like, give me everybody that lives in Colorado and they live in the city of Denver or Colorado Springs. So those would be rules that you can set up. Now that's a basic example, but you can have rules that are much more advanced that look at their campaign behavior, what links they clicked on, what campaigns they opened, what journeys they're a part of, or any number of different other aspects. So the rules can get very complex, but it's really up to your business needs that will define the complexity of those rules. With that, a segment, again, is just a set of criteria. I said rules, but it's a set of criteria or rules that are used to select contacts at the time that the segment is used. So what I mean by that is when you send out a campaign, if you schedule a campaign today, that's going to send in a week, and it's going to this U.S. contractor segment, then when the campaign is actually sent, not now, but in a week when it's going to be sent, it's going to run and select all the contacts in your audience that meet the criteria that you specify. So it's all done in real time at the point that it needs to be executed. This allows you to ensure that the most up-to-date information is used all the time. Now, segments can be used for contact targeting. That's the primary purpose of segments. So when you send out a campaign, instead of sending it to everybody, you may want to target who that campaign goes to and select certain people that meet specific criteria and say, I only want to send to them. Maybe you're sending to everybody that hasn't purchased anything in the last 90 days, or you're selecting everybody that lives in a specific state. Or maybe you have a segment based on a region of the country or a salesperson or any number of different segments that you might create that help you target that campaign. So it's sent to the specific group that is going to find that campaign most valuable. When you edit the criteria, mainly the criteria, but the name as well. But these are all real-time edits, meaning that if you set up a campaign today and you're going to send it out a week, and 2 days later you decide, you know what, I need to change the criteria for the segment. You can do that, and then when that campaign sends out in a week, it's going to take the most up-to-date segment information, and it's going to use that to query your audience to select all the contacts that are going to be sent that campaign, or that are going to be added to a journey, or any number of different things that you can use a segment for. Now, within a segment, just like with groups, you can search for contacts within that segment by their email address or tags. And then if you had an import going on or whatever, and that import finishes, you can always refresh to get the latest information. And then you can always check the box for all the different contacts that you need to do a bulk action on. And then you can select an action from the drop down here to perform an action on all of those contacts. As with groups, you can have an unlimited number of segments. The segments just store the criteria. They don't actually associate any contacts with that segment until it's used.